2020 has been an eventful year. It's also been a stressful year for a lot of us, having to deal with so much. And this year, Bleyer Bullion and Backyard Bullion have joined together to raise awareness for mental health and domestic abuse in the form of these 1 and 2 ounce unity rounds to support two very worthy charities here in the United Kingdom. We've got a big table full of silver to showcase and to let you know all about these wonderful charities and what they do. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a warm welcome to you all joining us for a project unveiling in conjunction with Bleyer Bullion. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll probably know Bleyer Bullion. They are a Devon-based UK bullion dealer, and over the last couple of years, we've been working with them to create charity-themed bars and rounds. In previous years, we've done the barn owl design, but this year being the year of craziness, 2020, we have changed it up and we have gone for a brand new design and a brand new theme, which is all about mental health. The proceeds and profits from the sales of these rounds will go split 50-50 to two very, very worthy charities here in the United Kingdom. The North Devon Against Domestic Abuse charity and Calm, the campaign against living miserably. I'll talk a little bit about those charities more in a moment as we go throughout the video, and I'll put links to their Just Giving pages if you want to support those charities and find out a little bit more information about what they do. But these rounds are very much in conjunction with those charities to raise awareness and raise funds for them both. So if you are interested in not only supporting the charities but getting hold of these very limited edition designs, then you can go and register some interest over on Bleyer Bullion's website. I will not be retailing these directly. You can get in touch with me all you like, but unfortunately I will not be able to sell them directly to you. You're going to have to go over to Bleyer Bullion's website. Now you are able to register your interest right now. The plan is early next week. They will go up for sale, and if you register for interest now, you'll get an email blast when they go live, probably actually a couple of hours before you go or before they go live, because there will be obviously first come first serve to factor in. So all of that information is linked down in the description below to Bleyer Bullion's website, and you can go over there and register your interest. They will be able to ship worldwide. You can certainly get them if you're in the US, and they'll actually be a little bit cheaper for you in the US, because in the UK you do have to factor in the VAT. But one of the great things is that all of the profits from these rounds will be going to the charities in question, split 50-50, and for the 2 ounce rounds that will be £22 per round that goes to the charity in question, and for the little 1 ounce rounds it'll be £15 per round. So a really, really generous donation from Bleyer Bullion, and you know, I've got a lot of information here just to sort of to disseminate to you, not only about the rounds but also the charity. So we'll just crack on and talk a little bit about that. So Bleyer Bullion, as with most bullion dealers this year, has been manically busy, crazy busy with everything. I mean, metals in any kind of year where, like we're seeing right now, are just going to be ridiculously popular. And it has certainly been an up and down year for a lot of businesses, certainly within the bullion world. But Bleyers have decided they want to give back, so to have this kind of ability for them to be able to support a charity is great, and it's the kind of thing I like to see from any business that certainly, you know, has had a good year. I mean, it's undoubtedly so that many bullion businesses around the world have had good years, so it's really nice to see Bleyer Bullion focusing on that and giving back. And the unity design, so let's just have a quick look at this with the 4 hands holding each other by the wrist there, is meant to be all about that cooperation. We're all in this together. You know, 2020, come on camera, you can focus. I know the light is awful here today, but you know, this year has been just absolutely awful. So to have this idea and this theme of unity, I think is really good. You know, I know a lot of people here on YouTube have found quite a lot of, you know, solace in watching videos. It's all of us stuck at home in lockdown. I think all of us on YouTube have seen huge upticks in view counts this year because of people just stuck at home. And I know a lot of people have taken up the new hobby of creating videos and being more engaged on social media and YouTube and so on. So I think it is really interesting concept to have about unity. We are all in this together, and in a world which is, still very, very divided in inequalities in various different schemes, the one thing that seems to unite us is to be able to hope for a better 2021. 2020 seems to be a bit of a lost cause. We're nearly in December already, and it's just dredging on this year. And I know that I've felt really fed up about it, and I know a lot of other people have too, not only suffering with the stresses and strains of lockdown, but of course the financial impacts of everything that's going on, job-related issues and the like as well. So that's where we kind of move on to the charity side of things. And the first charity that I want to talk about is CALM, which is standing for Campaign Against Living Miserably. And they were originally launched in 1997, and it's a charity specifically targeted at, originally it was targeted at young males who have one of the highest rates of suicide, sadly, of all people. However, with the last few years that have been going, the way it has, the financial crisis in 2008, 9, 10, and following all the consequences from that, it was noticed that in 2011 and onwards, there was just such a significant volume of additional male people, just, men contacting or trying to sadly end things. And it just blew up. The charity has now expanded to target any man of any age to help prevent the worst from happening. And it's an amazing charity. I've never been that bad, but there has been situations in my life where I've felt very low, very depressed almost, very just like, what is going on? How do I cope with this? I tend to be fairly acopic on big issues. If there's something that massively goes wrong, I can sometimes be a little bit daunted, a little bit swamped by it. And it certainly is something to factor into your life if you are not able to cope with these kind of things. And this charity is there for people who need it. And that is incredible. So definitely worth supporting and definitely worth checking out. So that charity again is called CALM. And there's a list I've actually got of all the different things that you can sort of help. And this year, as a direct result of the charity, as a direct result of the helpline staff being there for people in that moment of dire need, they've saved over 550, nearly 600 suicides. That's 600 lives saved in this year alone. And it's £8 per phone call to support somebody in that dire need. So buying a 2-ounce round and donating £22 to that charity saves nearly 3 lives. One of these rounds can save up to 2 lives. It's incredible the amount of difference that it can make just from a small donation. So whether you're buying one of these 2-ounce rounds or whether you're buying a 1-ounce round or just making a gift donation to their Just Giving page, it's definitely worth something to think about. They have other lists in there as well. £24 support materials for 4 families. It's not just the individual in need, which is often needing help. Families around that person will also need support, and it's very, very important to be able to give those. £109 trains a professional CALM volunteer to help people in dire needs, and £440 gives the training and equipment for a professional helpline worker to be there for these people when they need to. And if we can just get one additional helpline worker up and running, that's going to be countless lives saved per year. So CALM, C-A-L-M, Campaign Against Living Miserably, targeting UK-based men, but it is a very, very worthy charity, and it's definitely worth going and checking them out if you've not already done so. So that brings us on to the second charity, which is the North Devonshire Against Domestic Abuse, NDADA. Now, this charity was actually established all the way back in 1975, and it's of course targeting domestic abuse victims. And unfortunately, sadly, rather, it's just really horrible that in any downturn style situation, especially one where we're all stuck at home, tensions are inevitably going to rise in the household. I know working at home with everything I do and working with home with Mrs. Backyard Bullion, we step on each other's toes quite a lot in space, and it can wear on a relationship, and in extreme circumstances, it can lead, of course, to domestic abuse. And this year has definitely seen a big rise in the amount of domestic abuse cases and calls that have been going through to various charities, not only the North Devonshire Against Domestic Abuse charity. Now, that charity is more of a local-based charity to Bleyer Bullion, who are themselves based in Devon, but it still does incredible work for women in the area and families within the area. So it's a really important charity, and it's one that's so poignant in this year of craziness 2020. And again, I've got I've got basically a list of all of the different funds that things can do for people. So just a simple donation of £5 is enough to give toiletries and food for new Refuge arrivals. We're talking about people who've had to flee their homes from fear or from abuse. And the just simple ability to give aid to that person is really, really important. £10 is enough to give some toys, educational resources and school uniforms for children who need supporting. Because again, with all of these kind of situations, whether it be men's mental health and suicide prevention or domestic-based abuse, there is always a consequence for families, and it's really important to be able to support those. £20 is support for clothing for people to attend job interviews. We're looking at also other things, £70 for coaching and counselling. There are just so many different things that can be of benefit to individuals that are supported via these charities. So that's a big summary of all of the charities. These rounds help those two charities immensely. £22 from the sale of each of these 2-ounce rounds and £15 from the sale of each of the 1-ounce rounds will go to support the charities. Now there's 50 of each of these rounds. There's 50 2-ounce and 50 1-ounce. So if we do a little bit of maths, 50 times 22 is 1100 and 50 times 15 is of course 750. So that brings us to £1,850. So divided by 2, not by 3, is £925 to each charity. If we can get that done, that would be a really incredible achievement for Bleyer Bullion and these rounds to be able to do that. So if you're interested, what you need to do is head on over to Bleyer Bullion's website. We will not be retailing these rounds directly ourselves. They will be sold from Bleyer Bullion directly. Now, they're not going to be listed for general, so you can't pay for them right now this minute, but they will be going live next week. So if you go over to the Bleyer Bullion's website, you'll be referred to the page where you can register for interest, and Bleyer Bullion will email you a little bit before those rounds go live so that you can prepare, you can sit down at your computer and you can get hold of them. 50 of each. They are going to sell quickly. There are not many of them, and I hope and I pray that you guys will take up and go and support these very worthy charities. As I said, if you're not based in the UK, you can still get hold of these limited edition rounds. They will be very much still available. Bleyer will ship internationally, and of course, in fact, if you are outside of the EU, you won't have to pay the VAT on them, so they'll be marginally cheaper, but the same amount of cash will go to the charities. And if you don't necessarily want to buy these, or you can't necessarily afford the outlay of the unit price for the items, then please consider supporting the two charities. The links are down in the description below. Or if you want to buy them as well and then support some extra down in those charities Just Giving pages, then all of the links are down below. And of course, if you're struggling to find any of the information that you need, any of the links, I'm not working on anything or anything like that, just email me, byb@backyardbullion.com, and I can refer you directly to where you need to go. So that kind of sums it all up. I think it's a really worthy charity. I'm really proud of the way these rounds look. I think they're really tidy, nice pieces. Again, really great to work with Bleyer Bullion. A big thank you to them for supporting our business through this year as well, and of course for supporting these very worthy charities. I think it's really quite impressive to do. There are not a lot of companies out there that can or do this kind of thing, so it's really good to see. So a big thank you to Bleyers for the continuation of the partnership, and maybe when things are a little bit more normal, we'll get down there again to the Bleyer Bullion offices and actually link up and do some filming and do some videoing with them once again, because that was a real pleasure and a fun experience to go down there last time, and I really want to go back down. But of course this year we are in the middle of a lockdown, so that's not been possible. So it is what it is. God, of course this year, 2020, being what it is. So let's get these rounds sold for charity. If you're interested, links down in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, thumbs up. If you like these rounds, thumbs up as well. tell YouTube that you like this video by leaving a comment or just hitting that thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed to our channel, like 70% of all the views that happen on the channel are, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are eking forward to 30,000 subscribers. Oh, I found an extra round in the box. Look at that, one extra round left out. We are eking towards 30,000 subscribers, and according to Social Blade, we should be reaching that around Christmas. What a Christmas present that would be to hit 30K on Christmas Day. Let's get there. So hit that subscribe button if you've not already done so, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks all for watching. Have a great week ahead. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.